Hail, night! You have awakened me from my endless dream. Wait, you are a knife-ear? I don't care what kind of knife-ear you are all the same to me, you vile creatures, and I will explain why. I see some of you have infiltrated yourself into human society as a guise of integration. No, I am not buying the whole "we were conquered" narrative. Had the Septim Empire cleansed each and every one of you as it conquered your rotten provinces, they would not have the issues that they are having right now. Let me break down each and every one of your kind knife-ears and how you plague the lands of Skyrim. Oh, and not just Skyrim, but Tamriel as a whole. Let's start with the worst. I am talking about the High Elves, or how they like to call themselves the Altmer, because they think they are the only direct descendants of the Altmer. Too bad for them, because they neglect the fact that no one likes the Altmer, and no one likes the Altmer either, especially after they established the new Altmeri Dominion. They want to rule over us humans again and put us back in chains. Do you realize the implications of this? This alone makes me go into a rage. How could the Fourth Empire stand there and sign the White Gold Concordat with these elven supremacists? I do not care if the Empire was exhausted. They should have fought until every elf on Tamriel was an alchemical ingredient. If I were there, the only thing they would be signing would be their will, where they would be begging for the sweet release of death because the alternative would be a replica of the White Gold Tower, made entirely of mangled knife-eared Altmer being barely kept alive with healing magic. Let us also not forget that Mankar Cameron, the one who caused the Oblivion Crisis, was an Altmer. Do you see how eradicating them all would have been the ideal solution? Next are the Dark Elves, also known as the Dunmer. Sure, they might look different now, because they got cursed by Azura, but at the end of the day, they are still knife-ears. Not only should Ulfric Stormcloak kick them out of the Grey Quarter, but they should all be given maximum punishment for refusing to assist the Stormcloaks in their war efforts. Skyrim welcomed them during the well-deserved events of the Red Year. But if a calamity like that had struck Skyrim, do you think they would have let the Nords move there in droves like that? Of course not. They would have called them Enwas, and probably used them as cheap labor with slightly better conditions than the Argonians and the Khajiit. Why should the Dunmer get special treatment? Give me one reason! All your reasons are invalid. Knife-ears deserve only one kind of treatment, and that is to be put to the sword. Seriously, have you ever been to Morrowind? I would say I would be doing them a favor by releasing their souls from Mundus. Oh... Look at these cute little wood elves, otherwise known as the Bosmer. They may seem small and harmless, but these little knife-ear thugs are cannibals. They have this weird green pact back in Valenwood that they made with their crazy tree god Yifri, or whatever its name is. That thing needs to be chopped down, I tell you. Anyhow, after every battle, they will literally turn their enemies into a meal. What are they good for other than being a sneaky archer? Explain. No explanation is needed. Also, if you haven't noticed, they have been cooperating with the Altmeri Dominion. They claim that they are conquered, but I don't think so. I think they joined the Dominion voluntarily. Don't ever go easy on them. You never know what they are plotting or planning. They are absolutely unhinged. Too bad for them. I am more unhinged than them. And if I ever return, they will have no meals to eat. Now let's talk about the vile followers of Malakath. They are gruff and dumb barbarians without any manners or tact. I also don't buy the fact that an orc could not be evil. They are all evil. Not only is their god a former elven god turned to Daedra poop, but they themselves are Mer. There is a reason they are called Orcimer, and not just orcs. Look at their ears. And if for a second you feel bad for them because they don't have their homeland and are generally hated by everyone around them, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are an elf sympathizer. They are also as exclusive as the Dunmer. Unless you stick your neck out for them, they do not consider you a bloodkin and even refuse to make you bloodkin. What kind of a system is this? See, this is what I hate about these knife ears. They always make up stuff to exclude you. But when humans try to do the same thing, everyone starts screaming, "Oh, those poor elves. Elf sympathizers, all of them." If you are not an elf sympathizer and want to mantle me, the Divine Crusader, you will subscribe to my anti-elf propaganda now. Raise your thumbs against these knife ears and write in the parchment down below, "I support the Divine Crusader." Oh, and if you think that I will go easy on the Khajiit, well, I have got news for you, you knife-eared freak. They might look like cute kitty cats full of skooma that you would like to pet, but no! They are in fact also related to the Bosmer. Some of them don't even look like cats. Some of them straight up look like Bosmer, depending on how the moon moves when they are born. Their creation myth even suggests that the Bosmer and the Khajiit have the same common ancestor, related to the Altmer, and therefore they are knife-ears just like the rest of them. I do not regret my actions against them, and I do support the fact that the Nords are keeping them outside of their cities in Skyrim. Elsewhere is also a part of the Altmeri Dominion. You have no justification to defend them. So, the Bretons, oh, you thought we were done. Not by a long shot. Yes, the Bretons are mostly human, but we have to remember the knife-ear blood runs through their veins. Their ancestors were elf sympathizers to such an extent that they decided to intermarry. Therefore, they are traitors, and their descendants should be treated with utmost suspicion. I believe that those who have knife ears should be put to the sword regardless of their humanity. Where do you think they get all those magical skills from? Their elven ancestry. At least they fight on the side of the humans. Now let us celebrate the extinction of 3 major kinds of this knife-eared menace. Seeing their suffering puts me in a festive mood. The Dwemer got what they deserved for trying to tinker with tonal architecture and the heart of Lorcan. They were self-absorbed snobs who only cared about themselves and wanted to use everyone around them for their purposes. Their machines outlived them. Had they not disappeared, they would have caused even more problems than those knife-ears who are still alive combined. The Snow Elves, or the Falmer, got what they deserved as well. They used to rule Skyrim, but my brave brothers and sisters drove them out of there, right into the callous hands of the Dwemer. The Dwemer gave them some mushrooms, or made them read Elder Scrolls or something, I don't care. The main thing is that most of them have been turned into your run-of-the-mill creatures. Oh, if I were still free to roam Tamriel, I would have unleashed my fury on them. Also, there's one intelligent one left. Why didn't the Dragonborn get rid of him? Is he an elf sympathizer as well? As for the Ayleids, I am glad they are all finally gone. They were insufferable. Umaril and the other Ayleid kings thought they could defeat us. But no, we have persevered, and they are now literally ancient history. They were cruel and brutal masters, and they deprived me of my only source of happiness. Huna, I will never forgive them for what these knife-ears did to him. I only wish the same fate for all the other knife-ears. Well, Knight, please ruminate on this propaganda and write your thoughts on the parchment down below. I will take my leave. But I will be back with a vengeance against these elves. I would like to thank our patrons for their support. Connor, Runda,